So today Amy is over and we're going to film for you a little vlog, so following us around for the day.
So we asked on Instagram just the other day whether you guys wanted to see more vlogs or more sit-down videos this year, and it was an overwhelming number of you that wanted to see more vlogs, so we're going to be doing a little bit more of that this year perhaps.
And first off, I want to mention that if we're looking a little bit shiny, it is because it is bloomin' hot in here. It's about 9:30 in the morning and I don't know, it's already over 30 degrees Celsius. I'm not sure what the temperature is, but it's humid and it's really hot, so I might be turning the AC on today. I don't usually like to turn it on too much because I feel it's sort of wasteful, but I think we're gonna have to turn it on because we're already sweating.
So what have we got planned today? We were gonna make a granola, like a sort of like a granola, like a buckwheat thing.
I'll show them what we're trying to do.
Super inspired because Beck started buying the Loving Earth buckinis and they taste so good.
So I had like a sudden urge to grab some of the buckinis. I'd had them like over a year ago as a little treat when I went on holidays, and I picked these up again on my latest holiday. We did a big road trip over New Year's and Christmas. So these are basically activated buckwheat. So buckwheat is actually not wheat, it's gluten-free. It's actually a seed, not a grain, so it is paleo. But this is like a little crunchy mix and it's sweetened with coconut nectar, and it's also got the raw cacao and some coconut chips in there. It also has some dried fruit, so it kind of starts to get a bit higher in sugar. So Amy and I are looking to sort of emulate the nice crunchiness of this because
and the
it's so
chocolatiness,
nice.
because it reminds me of like Cocoa Pops.
You kind of sprinkle it over the top of some coconut yogurt or with fruit and things like that, and it really kind of elevates it if you're looking for a bit of crunch. So we're gonna try and
see what we can do.
See what we can do with low sugar.
This is like a recipe testing, so we'll see how it goes.
Other than that, Mum is coming by to catch up for lunch today, and we'll just be working on all of our plans and things for the vlog.
I think we're doing a podcast today.
Yes, we're doing a podcast.
So this one is going to be about New Year's resolutions, is it? Kind of like some ideas going into the new year. So
yes, so we brainstormed like a whole bunch of ideas for really solid, and I'm loath to use the word achievable because it can sound a little bit...
It can sound like blur,
boring.
like
but what we mean is like really powerful resolutions that you can work on every day and see a big difference. So we brainstormed a bunch of ideas that we're going to chat about on the podcast. Later on in this vlog, we might also have a chat about what our resolutions are for this year, because we have not chatted about that at all yet on social media. And yeah, that's basically our day.
That's the plan.
So we will leave it here and you can follow us around.
Okay, so guys, we're starting with some raw buckwheat, and I really should have started soaking these overnight, but we forgot. Whoops. So we're going to just soak these for a few hours this morning and then pop them in the oven to dry out and sort of crisp up. So let's hope that this works. I have some sea salt. The little specks are just dulse flakes that I use in cooking. So we have just finished our podcast episode, so that should be up probably today actually. So by the time this vlog is out, that podcast should be up. So please let us know what you've been thinking of the podcast episode so far. I'm like, what did I say? I don't even know.
What did I say? We just like had a chat for like 40 minutes. All about resolutions, things to upgrade your 2018. If you haven't looked at our podcast yet, it's over on iTunes and it's called the Cultivate Health and Beauty Podcast. So Amy is editing. You're quite good, like I always have more core left. So Amy has nibbled this apple
it down
to the middle, and she is editing our podcast, and over here I am about to have a little snack. So I'm going to have a little bit of this coconut yogurt, and I'm going to top that with a organic peach. I've been really into peaches lately, but
they are super heavily sprayed, so I just wait for them to come into Woolies in the organic section, which is not super often, but now that it's summer we are getting really spoilt and we have peaches. So yeah.
So I've just finished editing the podcast, so that is kind of exporting at the moment, and I'm just gonna eat some lunch. So we're still waiting on Mum to arrive, and I think Mum and Beck will probably go out and get some food. Like I'll go as well, but like I brought a lunch today, so.
We might get poke bowl or a grilled burger, because they do really good like gluten-free buns, and you can now get organic patties.
Yeah, grilled is pretty good. Like if you're in Australia, grilled is just in Australia, right? I don't know if it's in America.
I'm not sure, it might be in New Zealand. Let us know if you have grilled, but
they do pretty good like paleo options. Like it's not like paleo, but you can get like an almond meal based bun, like the low carb super bun is it called? That doesn't have like any wheat flour or anything like that in it.
Or we might go poke bowl. So now Amy is eating her salad.
Yeah, my salad that's kind of like made up of a bunch of leftovers from dinner last night. So there's like some broccolini and like roasted pumpkin on some leaves and some chicken. Okay, Mum is here. She's actually downstairs, so we're about to go get some lunch. Almost forgot my shoes. That's what happens when you try and vlog and do life at the same time. What you gonna get?
Okay, so it's been a few hours and I'm going to drain off these buckwheats in a little colander thing and give them a rinse before we put these into the oven to get nice and crispy. Okay, so going to lay these out on a baking paper to go in the oven. And we're going to set the oven pretty low, like something like 50 degrees Celsius just to start with, because we really don't want to burn these babies. Okay guys, so it is the next day. We pretty much spent the rest of the afternoon yesterday doing blog planning and all that kind of stuff, so not super interesting, but we're carrying on with the buckinis today. So we actually started drying them out in the oven yesterday for a couple of hours, and I've just popped them back in the oven this morning to kind of finish them off. So it's probably been around a total of 6 hours in the oven on a really, really low heat, and I think they're done, so I think they're crunchy now.
So we're gonna make our buckini. What are we calling this recipe? Like chocolate buckinis?
Chocolate buckinis.
But I want them to like crunch together to make like the clusters.
Yeah, so we're going to be using a little bit of raw organic honey to try and make them turn into the clusters, but we'll see how we go. And we'll show you our results. Okay, so the ingredients we're using are our activated buckwheats. We've got a lot of these, so we're going to be eyeballing quantities of everything else, but we have some raw organic honey. This I got down at Kangaroo Island over Christmas. We've got cacao nibs, so I'll put some of those in, cacao powder, and also our coconut chips, and these are toasted, so they should also be nice and crunchy. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. Okay, I'm starting with like 2 tablespoons of the cacao. I bet I'm gonna need like double the amount of cacao to make this like chocolatey. For a 3rd spoon. I don't know, Amy, I'm gonna do one more. 4. So we're going to go in with some honey.
Doing a taste test.
It's Still needs to be more chocolatey.
Okay, more cacao. So 1 more tablespoon of cacao powder.
Okay, so it is slightly sweet with the honey, but we're going to try sprinkling through a bit of stevia just to take it up a notch, because we're kind of comparing it to the one that we've tried. And it still tastes like quite just rich chocolatey, but not sweet. And this is something that we like to sprinkle on top of like coconut yogurt with a little bit of berries as a snack, especially in the summer because it's so hot. It's so good to have something like a little bit crunchy on top. So our buckwheat, what are we calling these? Chocolate buckwheats, they're ready to pop back into the oven so that they'll sort of harden into their little clusters. So I'm spreading it back out onto that tray. And we're going to set the oven to 160 fan forced, and that is degrees Celsius. And we're gonna pop these in, I reckon, for like 20 minutes, keeping an eye on it. I would hate to burn this after all this work. It's a bit crispier now. I think we should have some cacao.
I think so too.
We'll let this cool down and get a little bit more crunchy, and then we're gonna try it out. So we got a bit nervous because we weren't sure if we were smelling burning or cacao. Not sure, but tasted it and it tastes fine. But we turned the heat right down to 100 and it sat in there for about half an hour, and we just sort of flipped it around so that it all got crispy. And it tastes really good. It's tasting more and more like Cocoa Pops, or what I remember of Cocoa Pops. Probably completely different, like way more crunchy, obviously, but they're tasting like lighter and crispier.
So this is our little mid-morning snack. So we've got our cacao with some of our chocolate buckinis, and Beck has some added raspberries. So today for lunch I have a soup that I brought over. So this one is a beef cheek soup. So we've got some cooked up beef cheek with silver beet, turnip, I think we've got carrot, pumpkin, onion, garlic, and I think there's like a few Brussels sprouts in here as well.
And I am having a very super simple salad. So it's just leafy greens with some chicken and some orange segments and a sprinkling of pumpkin seeds. Also added some olive oil and some coconut aminos. So let's continue eating and working.
So to kickstart 2018, I've actually been doing a little bit of a gut cleanse, so focusing more on easy to digest foods like our soups and our stews and things like that. So that's actually something that we talk a lot about in our gut health course, Get Glowing Online. So all about rebuilding the gut and foods that really nourish and support better gut health. And while I'm talking a little bit about the course, we've actually been working on a new pricing structure this afternoon. So there's going to be a few different pricing options coming out for our next opening. So we will be reopening enrollments really soon for that course. So stay tuned for that and look out for the pricing structure changes. So yeah, we're pretty much just eating. Well, Beck's just eating. I've already had lunch. And then we're going...
a mouthful of food.
Like non-flattering, just like turning the camera on her. But yeah, we're just going to be working on that this afternoon a bit more and getting that wrapped up.
Okay guys, so it is now pretty late in the afternoon. We've been just working, nothing super exciting and vloggable. But yeah, before we start off this vlog, we thought we would have a little chat about what our resolutions are for the year. Not that they're super big ones this year.
Yeah, and we kind of spoke about it like probably in more detail over in the podcast, just because the podcast is like longer.
Yeah, it's like way more detailed. So if you want to know everything about our resolutions and our thoughts for the new year, definitely go and listen to that. For me, I think I kind of have 2 resolutions, and these are just things I'm really carrying over from the end of 2017 that I want to keep up with. So the first one is to move every day. I think in the past I've set different resolutions around, you know, doing 3 or 4 workouts per week and all that kind of stuff, but I've really found that what I can stick to is something that I do daily, and not even a specific exercise type. So it's just really about moving every day, and on the days where I'm not moving, I'm like, this feels weird. And the other thing is to increase the variety of my diet. So eating more veggies, in particular like more different veggies. So I was trying to do this a bit more at the end of last year, but it's something I want to keep doing because I think it's really easy to get into a rut, whether you're paleo or not.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you just kind of eat the same thing every week.
And it's like not bringing in any like different nutrients or anything either. It's like you could be missing out on something because you're just eating like, say, sweet potato, cauliflower,
broccoli.
Yeah, like the really basic ones. And it's just fun, like bringing in some new ingredients to play with.
Yeah, so that is sort of my healthy resolution in terms of diet. It's just sort of improving little habits and things that I find fun, I think.
Building upon an already fairly healthy lifestyle. So my resolution, I would call it like more of an intention, is just to find more joy kind of in the day-to-day things. And it can apply to like several different areas of life, I suppose. But one area that I'm kind of focusing on at the moment in January is exercise. So I think particularly in like the Fitspo world, whether that's like on YouTube or like the PALEO sphere, I think there's a lot of pressure to do like certain types of exercise, like you've got to like lift heavy weights and squat heavy weights and all that. And like I'm not against that at all, like I think that can be fun as well, but
my hand's just like dying.
We need like one of those selfie stick things if we're going to do this more often.
I know.
I can't remember what I was saying, but
just about how there's this pressure to do like the right
like,
workout,
the right, or like the most like optimal workout. Like we know that like squatting a heavy weight is going to be pretty effective in building muscle, but at the end of the day, like if you can't stay consistent with it because you don't like love it, then it's just like I don't know. So that's not saying that like I don't enjoy doing those things as well, but I mean, even just like what you were saying, like having variety in like even the exercise that you're doing and being really flexible with that, so you can do different things on different days and not feel like you're guilty because you're like not doing the optimal workout, if that makes sense.
So yeah, if you want to know our thoughts like unpacked in a lot of detail, we have a lot of waffling, but it is fun over on the podcast, and go and check that out and we'll have it all linked below. But I think other than that, we're going to sign off for this vlog.
Okay.
We hope that you enjoyed us just poking around doing our day-to-day stuff. But if you enjoyed this vlog and you want to see more vlogs from us this year, then leave this video a big thumbs up. And if you have resolutions for 2018, we definitely want to know about them, so leave them down in the comments below. We read all of the comments and we love hearing from you guys. And other than that, if you want to subscribe for more health and beauty videos, do that. And we'll see you in our future videos.
Bye guys.
Bye.